Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi have hit the campaign trail in Madhya Pradesh in the last mile battle for the critical state. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. This is a deep dive into Madhya Pradesh. Who's ahead? Is it going to be a photo finish just like in 2018? Can Kamal Nath basically wrest back the state, a government of which was taken away from him after Jyotiraditya Scindia walked out of the Congress towards the BJP? For Scindia himself, this is a prestige battle, almost a litmus test. And also, what are the national implications of a win or defeat for either party in the state? Remember, while Kamal Nath is the de facto face of the Congress campaign, the BJP's tallest leader, incumbent Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chouhan, or Mamaji as he's popularly known, has not been officially declared a chief ministerial candidate by the BJP, leading to speculations about whether he has been sidelined. Most polls reflect a close, tough battle. Some polls give the Congress a clear advantage. Looking today at which Kamal will bloom in the Madhya Pradesh elections, and yes, whichever way the results go, it's going to lead to a lot of media punning. We are introducing our guests today as we look at also the ABPC voter number from the opinion poll, but of course, the real voting is now just 2 days away. I want to introduce our guests on the program today. Let me first welcome on the program Deshdeep Saxena, veteran journalist and author. Welcome to the program, Deshdeep ji. Also joining us is Kartikeya Batra. He's a visiting fellow at the Sea Voter Survey, and we'll be looking at those numbers with him. Also joining us is senior journalist Arati Jerath from the BJP. We're joined by its leader and spokesperson, Pankaj Chaturvedi. If we can introduce Pankaj ji into our screen. There he is. Namaskar. And also joining us from the Congress is its leader and spokesperson, Mithun Ahirwar. Namaskar, Mithun ji, and welcome to the program. All right. The actual voting is now just 2 days away, but still, for form's sake, Kartikeya, I'm going to ask you to take us very quickly through what your opinion poll at Sea Voter ABP has suggested. It's giving an advantage to the Congress, but the gaps are not very, very huge. It's over to you, Kartikeya, as we bring up those first set of numbers just to get the conversation started. Kartikeya, go ahead.
Yeah, so Barkha, essentially, if you look at the current scenario, the projections that have come out, the last set of projections, the Congress is expected to pick up an additional 3.4 percentage points, whereas the BJP is going to pick up an additional 1.1 percentage points. Eventually, the vote share that we are predicting for the Congress is 44.3 versus the BJP 42.1. And that roughly translates into what you see on your screen, where the Congress, so you flipped it. The Congress is going to be somewhere in the range of 118 to 130. The BJP is somewhere between 99 to 111. Now, first glance, you would say this seems like a pretty sort of neat, clean victory for the Congress, unlike the last time where they were 1 or 2 seats short. But one has to understand that even within this, there are some 30 marginal seats which could flip here or there. So at the end, it is still a close election. The one thing you can say is it's what I was telling some of the panelists backstage, a fasawa election, in the sense that individual MLAs have to, make sure that they win. There is no wave except for one sentiment, which is that there is fatigue. There is fatigue. There is not even anger against the chief minister, but there's just fatigue. There is some anger against the MLAs. There is, of course, some disenchantment with the chief minister. He's been there for 18 years. But what the tracker is picking up is that there is fatigue. And that fatigue may or may not manifest in the way that people expect it to. That, if I'm a BJP voter, I'll just go and vote for the Congress. No, that is a bit too extreme. What might happen is that the BJP voter might just not turn up. So if you look at the CM's ratings, Mr. Kamal Nath right now is 42%, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan roughly 38%. But then if you add the BJP's other claimants' sort of popularity to it, then it's pretty close, right? But there is one thing that, there is disenchantment with the MLAs. There is this fatigue that, if we need a change. The other thing to note is there's a lot of young voters who haven't seen a Congress government in the past. They are also yearning for change because they've just seen this one government. In the past, it was pretty easy to say that, Digvijay Singh Saab's tenure was XYZ, so don't vote for him. But that generation does not. The composition has changed. The electorate composition has changed. A lot of the people who will be
Okay.
voting now are the ones who don't have any
let,
recollection of
let
that particular
now
phase.
the fact is that you've got the national leaders stepping into the campaign trail, Prime Minister Modi,
Yeah.
Rahul Gandhi. Before we actually play out the Prime Minister's comments, let me get brief comments from our political guest. Pankaj, let me start with you. The polls saying a tough contest, even the polls that are predicting an advantage for the Congress. 4 point ka difference hai in the preference between Shivraj Singh Chouhan and Kamal Nath. Do you think there could still be surprises that could turn this in your party's favor?
I think everything is going to be in the favor of Bharatiya Janata Party, and very easily we are going to garner the majority mark. Rather, in 2013, we were highest, that was 173 out of 230. This time we are going to cross this mark of 173. That is BJP's calculation. And that is not just the studio dialogue where I'm saying that we are going to garner so much seats. This is the reality of the ground. We have been to ground and we are working on 3 points. Number one is development, number two is development, and number three is development. The Madhya Pradesh of 2003 and the Madhya Pradesh of 2023 and the Madhya Pradesh
Yes.
for next 25 years. That is our agenda. And on this agenda, we are going to get the Jan Ashirwad. The blessings of the common man are with BJP, and that will support the BJP to
So you
garner the.
don't, so Pankaj, you don't agree with the polls which are basically showing a very tough contest with some slight edge to the Congress. You don't agree with the polls?
Barkha ji, poll prediction is a process. I respect the persons who have predicted the poll. There's a team, they've got their own mechanism, they've got their own methods. It's their calculation. But I'm telling you what is the BJP's calculation. The election campaign is going to over. Tomorrow, 15th is the last day. 17th, we have the poll in Madhya Pradesh. So on 14th evening, we are discussing, and I am claiming once again that our highest was 173 in 2003. We are going to cross that mark. BJP will get the majority by its own, and that's going to be the highest majority of Madhya Pradesh. That is the BJP's point.
Okay, we'll come back to why you think that. I gave you the numbers of the ABPC voter survey, but let me also just take a quick glance at what the other surveys have in fact said. Can we take the banner off, please? And so then we can have a look at the other surveys. Here is what the Z News opinion poll said, which also gives a clear advantage to the Congress. If we can move on, can we go full frame to the graphics? I think can we just go full frame to the graphics? This is the Z News opinion poll survey. It's predicting 132 to 146 seats, so giving even more. Seats to the Congress than the ABPC voter survey. The India TV CNX opinion poll, however, gives the advantage to the BJP, forecasting 119 seats for the BJP. And finally, the Times Now ETG opinion poll is also showing a very close contest with a very, very slight edge to the Congress. So that's the view from three other surveys. I want to play out the Prime Minister's statement on the campaign trail before I come to the Congress leader. Listen it.
कांग्रेस के नेताओं ने सरकारी कर्मचारियों को, अधिकारियों को धमकाना शुरू कर दिया है। मैं एमपी के सरकारी कर्मचारी अधिकारी से कहूंगा कि कांग्रेस की धमकियों से डरने की जरूरत नहीं है। आप ईमानदारी से अपना काम करते रहें। एमपी में आज भी भाजपा है। 3 दिसंबर के नतीजों के बाद भी भाजपा सरकार ही है। कांग्रेस के धमकीबाज नेताओं की तो खुद उनका तो हाल ये है, धमकियां तो देते फिरते हैं, लेकिन उनकी खुद की कोई गारंटी नहीं है।
Now, the Prime Minister, of course, making a reference there to a viral video where Kamal Nath is seen to be having an argument with a police officer. The BJP saying he is threatening the police officer. The Prime Minister making a reference to that comment, and Kamal Nath telling the police officer in the viral video, no one will be spared. 6 days are left. सिर्फ 6 दिन बचे हैं. हमारी सरकार आने वाली है. मिथुन जी, ये तो प्रधानमंत्री का रेफरेंस था, लेकिन मैं ओवरऑल आपसे पॉलिटिकल पर्सपेक्टिव जानना चाहूंगी. टफ फाइट 2018 में भी कुछ ही सीट्स का अंतर था टिल ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया ऑफ कोर्स लेफ्ट योर साइड एंड क्रॉस्ड ओवर. इस बार व्हाट इज योर उम्मीद, व्हाट इज योर एक्सपेक्टेशन?
So, I'll come to the Prime Minister first. I think leave alone the people of Madhya Pradesh, even the BJP people, BJP leaders do not take him seriously in Madhya Pradesh. The last time he came to Madhya Pradesh, he had said this reverie culture must end, and Shivraj Singh announced a lot of reveries for the people of Madhya Pradesh. He had said that all the BJP states have this policy, the standard policy that all the BJP states have petrol prices below 100 rupees. Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal has it for 108 rupees a litre. So he had come and he had said it in Madhya Pradesh regarding something regarding farmers' income, that we are going to be there. He had promised farmers' income is going to be doubled in 2022. He has not claimed that has happened, but Madhya Pradesh's chief minister has claimed that it has happened in Madhya Pradesh. So BJP people, they do not agree with what Modi ji says. Let's come to the claim of Bharatiya Janata Party. I'm very happy to hear that Pankaj Chaturvedi ji is claiming that they are going to cross 173 seats. The last time Amit Shah came here in 2018, he said that he'll be crossing 200. This time he is so confident that he's brought that mark down to 150. And I'm certain that on election result day, he'll be saying that we are going to cross 100 seats somehow. So we are talking about the state which ranks number 1 in tribal atrocities, which ranks number 1 in malnutrition, which ranks number 1 in Dalit atrocities, if you count them by per lakh population. We are talking about the state wherein if you have 15 lakh rupees, you can become a patwari. If you enter through Vyapam, you have to bribe people belonging to Bharatiya Janata Party. 50 deaths have been reported. We are talking about a state which has 18,000 farmer suicides in the last 2 decades due to the misrule of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Mithun ji, do you believe it will be a close contest again? Do you believe it will be down to the wire again?
It is going to be a landslide victory for the Congress party. We are going to cross 150 seats. I respect all the surveys, but we know what kind of Kamal Nath ji was saying it the other day. He was saying we are seeing a lot of voltage in people, and that tells us what people are thinking about this. Who's going to vote for them? The youths are upset with the party. The farmers are upset. The women are upset. They have disappointed every person. They have disappointed every caste. You can see people urinating on tribals belonging to BJP. You can see the kind of atrocities that are happening on Dalits. You can see that they have cancelled the reservation of OBCs. They have disappointed every section of the state.
Before I get Arati, let me just bring in Pankaj ji again. And again from the ABPC voter survey, they did seem to be, as Kartikeya just said, not a huge sort of wave against or for anybody, but a certain amount of fatigue. And people were asked, how many of you would want to see a change in government? And if we can have that graphic, I think 55% said that they're angry and they want to change the government. But yet, Shivraj Singh Chouhan's own popularity is not dented as badly, Pankaj ji. If we go to the CM preference graphic, you will see only a 4-point difference between him and Kamal Nath, which suggests that people are angrier with MLAs than they are with the chief minister, possibly. Do you think the BJP has made a mistake in not declaring Shivraj Singh Chouhan as the chief ministerial candidate? Pankaj ji.
Barkha ji, BJP has its own policy as far as the election is concerned. And every time we plan a policy to win the election, and this time we are going through a process which is called collective leadership. And everyone in BJP is a worker. We are not bothered what we are going to get. Everyone is a worker. Some worker, they become the chief minister. Some worker become the prime minister. Some worker become the member of parliament. That is the process of the BJP. That is the policy of the BJP. So BJP is purely on the agenda of development. I told you clearly, what was the economical growth of Madhya Pradesh? It was less than 1%. Now it is 24%. What was the agricultural growth of Madhya Pradesh? 3%. Now it is 19%. What was the budget of the Madhya Pradesh? 33,000 crore rupees. The debt was 31% of that. Now the budget is the GDP, that is 15 lakh crore, and the debt is less than 30%, exactly 26%. So the size of the GDP has increased, the debt has decreased. That's why we are among the top 3 states of the India. You talk about the per capita income, it was 11,000 20 years back. Now it is 1,44,000. And what we have promised, we are going to make it double. KG to PG, free education, 1.32 crores Ladli Behna, where they are getting 1,250 rupees nowadays, and it will go up to 3,000 rupees. They will get house as well. What we claim, the Ayushman card, it is the limit of 5 lakh rupees. If it is more than 5 lakh rupees, the state government will bear the burden of that particular treatment. Let's talk about the MSP. It's paddy, it is 3,100 rupees. For wheat, it is 2,700 rupees. And we are not like the Congress party's government, where the previous Chief Minister Kamal Nath-ji, what was his pet dialogue? Khajana khali hai. I cannot do anything. You just see the state of the.
But अगर आप मुख्यमंत्री candidate declare कर देते तो क्या, what would have been the harm? What was the loss? It would have only been of advantage to you.
Barkha ji, who has to decide this? BJP has to decide it. That what BJP has to do.
Of course, the BJP has to decide it, but I would have thought that, the example in Karnataka would have made the BJP slightly nervous. But let me actually get in our journalists, our experts here. Arati, let me start with you and then come to Deshdeep. First, the macro picture. It looks like Kamal Nath is fighting a campaign completely on his own terms, almost a bigger brand than the party currently. He's certainly gone against the India Alliance decision to boycott certain TV anchors. He's certainly done a very, very sort of visibly Hindu campaign. What do you make of his campaign, Arati?
Well, Barkha, frankly, I find this to be a very uninspiring election. Do you really see very much difference between the BJP and the Congress? If you look at their manifestos, if you look at the list of statements, the list of promises they've made, both are handing out, except on the farm loan waiver issue, which the Congress has promised and the BJP has not. On everything else, they sound almost exactly the same. And, it is really competitive freebies, competitive hindutva. What is the vision that either of them are offering the people of Madhya Pradesh? Yes, they may have made all these roads and everything, but roads are being made all over the country. The point is that Madhya Pradesh still remains a Bimaru state. Why is it still a Bimaru state? Why is it still so poverty-ridden? Why? And, it's great. Free education up to, class 12. What is the quality of education that you're offering people? Free healthcare. What is the quality of healthcare you're offering people? If you look at it, Madhya Pradesh ranks really low on so many indicators that you wonder, what has the BJP been doing for the last 18 years?
But Kamal Nath's campaign. Can you talk a little bit about Kamal Nath's campaign before I go to Deshdeep?
Even Kamal Nath's campaign, that's what I'm saying. He sounds like the BJP. What is the difference? I
think he's trying to sound like the BJP. I would like to say that I think Kamal Nath is very consciously trying to
in Chhindwara. Kamal Nath has been so Hindu through this entire campaign that, he could have been mistaken for a BJP leader. And that's why I'm saying, if there is no excitement, no buzz in this election, it's because both sides sound so similar to each other. They're offering the same kind of freebies. Then why should people get excited about voting Kamal Nath into power?
So
because he's not offering anything more exciting than what Shivraj is offering.
So let me take this to Deshdeep ji. Therefore, is it then a clash of personalities, whether you prefer Kamal Nath or you prefer Shivraj Singh Chouhan or Mama ji? Arati says ideologically, दोनों parties में आज कोई फर्क नहीं है ज़्यादा, at least in Madhya Pradesh. Deshdeep ji.
That's true. Not much farak, not much difference. The difference is that people are talking about soft hindutva when Kamal Nath or the Congress, takes up the hindutva. Like when Priyanka Gandhi first visited Madhya Pradesh, when the election process started, they started from Jabalpur doing Arati of Narmada. Then, fast forwarding it with Mr. Kamal Nath, he has been holding the discourses of two famous spiritual leaders of Madhya Pradesh, Bageshwar Baba and Pradeep Mishra, in Chhindwara. He had constructed a huge 101 feet tall, statue of Lord Hanuman in Chhindwara. And then, when all these things were happening, he has outsmarted BJP. He is doing all these things, addressing the issues of Hindutva. At the same time, he has refused to play on the pitch of BJP. He's just touching it and then moving away. Congress wants this election to be contested on the issues of corruption, on the issue of unemployment. But a lot of people in Madhya Pradesh, when I travel across the state, the youth want jobs. The last competitive exam that had Shivraj Singh Chouhan organized in Madhya Pradesh was of Patwaris. 9 lakh youth, they appeared in that exam.
Right.
The result came, then it turned out to be a scam, and the result has been withheld. Then Shivraj Singh Chouhan said that we are having a one-man probe committee, and the deadline is the end of the August 30. Then it was extended. Nobody knew.
Who do you think has the advantage? क्योंकि अगर इस तरह की नाराजगी है, like you are talking about, इस तरह का desperation है, then this should reflect a greater gap. The polls are not capturing that gap. The polls are capturing a certain amount of irritation, but not rage. Deshdeep ji, who has the advantage according to you right now?
Listen, our sea voter friend, I'm just missing his name. Kartikeya talked about कि election फंसा हुआ है. Let me add one more thing. Voters are silent. चुप हैं. When you talk to voters, they don't speak. So voter is again silent. So then people ask another question. Then people say another thing. When you talk to the voter, they said कांटे की टक्कर है. Now this remains to be seen कि ये कांटा किसे लगेगा? Who would get this कांटा, whether it is BJP or Congress?
So चलिए फंसा हुआ चुनाव.
Congress definitely has an edge over BJP in this election.
Okay.
And sorry, please.
नहीं, मैं ये बोलने वाली थी कि कांटे की टक्कर, कांटा किसको चुभेगा, फंसा हुआ चुनाव, a silent voter, आरती सिंह uninspiring, एक दूसरे की तरह sound करते हैं. They sound, almost interchangeable. Deshdeep doesn't fully agree. Kamal Nath, meanwhile, is talking about what happened in the past when Scindia actually walked out, and जो एक उनका जीता हुआ चुनाव था that converted into defeat. What will happen to Jyotiraditya Scindia? Litmus test, a prestige test for him. We'll talk about that in a moment, but first let's listen to Kamal Nath at the stumps.
शुरुआत थी, हम आगे बढ़ रहे थे और सौदा हो गया. मैं मुख्यमंत्री था, मैं भी सौदा कर सकता था. विधायक मेरे पास आते थे, कहते थे इतने करोड़ रुपए हमें मिल रहे हैं. मैंने कहा था मौज करो, मैं किसी से सौदा नहीं करने वाला. मैं मध्य प्रदेश की पहचान सौदे की राजनीति से नहीं करूंगा. मैंने कहा कुर्सी जाती है तो जाए, मैं सौदा नहीं करने वाला, और मैंने सौदा नहीं किया. तो आज ये सब आपके सामने है. मैं तो इतनी बात कहना चाहता हूं आपसे कि शिवराज जी को पहचान लीजिए. अच्छे कलाकार हैं, बहुत अच्छे कलाकार हैं. उनकी झूठ की मशीन आजकल डबल स्पीड पर चल रही है. घोषणाओं की मशीन डबल स्पीड पर चल रही है. माताओं और बहनों को 18 साल याद नहीं किया. चुनाव आया तो माताएं, क्या हुआ, बहनें याद आ गई.
Okay, Kamal Nath's reference there, of course, to a welfare scheme targeted at women and girls. Could that be a game changer in this last mile? Before we discuss that, Kartikeya, I want to bring you up just to talk a little bit about Jyotiraditya Scindia. The polls, at least looking at the Gwalior Chambal belt, don't project an easy ride for Mr. Scindia. That confusion of a man who was a lifelong congressman switches over to the BJP is reflecting even at the level of workers. Kartikeya, talk a little bit about the Scindia factor.
But can I say a couple of things before that, with your permission?
Sure.
I must give you a word of caution that, of course, these numbers are provisional as of last week. See, even in Karnataka, a lot of people got the margins a little off, right? So it is very natural that when you're converting vote share into seats before the election, the math is not perfect. It is possible that the Congress might end up with a sweep or say 135, 140. Nobody is denying that. But we are just picking up trends from the data that we captured as of last week. And I will add that for a long time now, at least the tracker that we have been doing has suggested that the Congress has been ahead. The margins have been changing. But this seems like a pretty decent margin. And once again, it is possible that it might shrink or it might get enlarged. A lot of things are still playing out, like the rebel factors. There's like 75 rebel candidates if you combine the BJP and Congress, or 75 people who have been suspended from the party. There are these small parties, SP, BSP. So a lot of these factors have to go in. So that's a health warning from any pollster that you will talk to. Now coming to, and the other thing that you asked was, what is the distinguishing factor between the two parties? Well, Arati ma'am made a very valid point. They're sounding the same, except that the BJP carries the burden of 18 years of governance and accountability, and the Congress does not. So I think that is a key differentiating factor. Now to come to your question with regards to Mr. Scindia, you know, Barkha, last time when Mr. Scindia, Mr. Kamal Nath, Mr. Singh projected a combined face, the Congress did really well, winning, if I remember correctly, 26-27 out of 34 seats in the Chambal area. Surprise, surprise, the opinion poll is predicting a similar situation for the Congress even this time. And then you might say, but this is minus Mr. Scindia. Well, it seems like Mr. Scindia's sort of departure from the party has damaged the BJP more than it could have damaged the Congress. Because there's a lot of confusion at the grassroots level amongst the cadre of the BJP. Some people have got tickets, some people have not got tickets. The loyalists are not happy in some places, etc., etc. In some places, people who used to be with the BJP standing against the Scindia Parivar have now joined the Congress. There is a royal family in the Gwalior Chambal area that has done that, for example. So actually, it seems like that that while Mr. Scindia did deliver Madhya Pradesh from 2020 to 2023, his appeal to help BJP recapture Madhya Pradesh in 2023 is probably not the same. And I'm basing all this on the numbers that we are getting.
Very interesting. Let me open this up again now. Pankaj, I'll start with you. You said that the polls, probably have it wrong. It's going to be a very clear victory for the BJP. But जो 18 साल की एक तरह से anti incumbency है, उसका आप क्या करेंगे? Question 1. Question 2, do you think that the switching of by Jyotiraditya Scindia has created confusion at the worker level? And question 3, Shivraj Singh Chouhan, do you still consider him the de facto CM candidate?
Barkha ji, what Deshdeep ji said, he said कि voter is silent this time.
Yes.
यदि voter silent है, so then who is giving these predictions? Congress is getting a bit ahead, BJP's percentage. So who is giving these predictions? That is the one big question. You talk about every scribe who comes to Madhya Pradesh or who belongs to Madhya Pradesh, he will say that voter is silent. They are not saying. If you talk them about BJP, they say, okay, BJP is coming. If you talk about Congress, they say Congress is coming. Then who is giving these predictions? That's why I told I respect the figures. It is the work, it is the efforts of a particular team. They have their own standard. But the BJP workers are sounding different. They said we are going to cross 173, number one. Number two, BJP, we have a very simple culture. Our ideology is very clear. Our primary motto is Kamal ka Nishan. Naam Kamal, Pehchan Kamal, Nishan Kamal. That is the ideology. And your symbol is the priority. Then it hardly matters who is representing that symbol in election. So it doesn't matter you are in the BJP or you are the Scindia's camp. There is no camping in the BJP. It is one BJP. The divided house is Congress party where this Kamal Nath group. They are fighting on the road.
Let me ask
competition.
Pankaj, briefly, just tell me this and then I'll go to Mithun ji. What is different between 2018 and 2023 according to you? Is there anything different? Because that was a very close election. Is there anything different?
Barkha ji, since 2003, Congress is unable to get the 116 mark. In last election, we were very much sure that we will win the election. This time, we are more vigilant. That's why I'm saying we will cross the mark of 2003. We will cross 173 on the different schemes of the development and on this blueprint of the Madhya Pradesh. That is our Sankalp Patra. Employment to every family.
Okay, let me get Mithunji to react to what you're saying and also pick up on what Kartikeya said, 75 rebel candidates. Also, the BJP has brought in a number of its Lok Sabha members of parliament into the fray. The Lok Sabha, as we know, if you can see some of the Lok Sabha members of parliament there. Take the banner off, please, so that we can have a closer look. And the fact is that, you're also seeing Modi stepping in the last 48 hours. Mithunji, are you concerned about this being a factor? Mithunji.
See, Modi stepped in 5 years back also, but we all have seen the results. My friend from BJP was saying that if people are silent, who's telling you the numbers about these exit polls? So you are losing, sir, despite voters being silent. And the silent voter, we all know, is scared of the government, because if he was to say that we are going to vote for the BJP, everyone knows he would have no harm. But since he knows that if I speak against BJP publicly, then there'll be some harm to him. That's why he's silent. And this vote will get converted. And that's why we are going to cross the 150 mark. And that's what the surveys are not able to predict, considering the silent voter. The second thing is, my friend from the BJP said that something about 2003. So isn't it a fact that the last time BJP won an assembly election in Madhya Pradesh, it was in 2013, sir? Since then, you haven't won any of the main elections. By elections is a different thing. The third thing I wish to say that there was a nara, there was a slogan the last time. It was called "Maaf karo Maharaj, Hamara Neta Shivraj." It was floated by BJP in 2018. Now look at the ticket distribution in Gwalior Chambal region. It appears that the nara has reversed now. "Maaf karo Shivraj, Hamara Neta Maharaj." It appears the nara is like that this time. So BJP people, most of them don't. The fact that they have brought in 7 MPs from this center to contest assembly elections, that itself says that they do not have capable candidates who can contest assembly elections. Number one, the members of there's a general secretary. He's contesting. His name is Kailash Vijayवर्गीय. He's saying that I'm going to contest for a big responsibility. मैं एक बड़ी जिम्मेदारी के लिए लड़ रहा हूँ. तो हम समझते हैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी में मतलब नेता प्रतिपक्ष होना बड़ी जिम्मेदारी होगी चुनाव के बाद. तो सब लोग, everyone is fighting for their own gains. Gopal Bhargav is saying something. Tomar is saying something else. Yashodhara Raje Scindia, she has clearly said, no, I'm not going to contest, because she's the same person who had given a reply in assembly that in the past 3 years, only 21 jobs have been delivered. So if this is your delivery model, it is obvious that our candidates are not confident of their victory, because the people are not going to vote for them.
But Mithunji, before I give that to Pankaj, there are also, and Kartikeya can help me with this, but I was looking at some research that shows there are also 74 seats where the Congress has never won in the last 3 assemblies, compared to 11 seats for the BJP. So, आपके लिए भी easy नहीं है. This is not a smooth, given, done deal. Would you at least concede that?
It wasn't easy for us the last time also, but we defeated Bharatiya Janata Party. And last time it was, many of the people on the ground were saying it was a close fight. Now it is not a close fight anymore, because this is not between BJP and Congress. Now this is between BJP and Janata. Janata is going to Janata is contesting against the Bharatiya Janata Party, and that's why we are confident of our victory.
Pankaj, very briefly, before I go to Arati and Deshdeep, ये जो members of parliament को चुनाव मैदान में लाया गया है, ये क्यों?
देखिए बरखा जी, I said you very clearly, it is the BJP's policy. BJP has to decide who is going to the candidate of the BJP, and every member of parliament or central minister, basically they are the BJP workers. And the responsibilities and the role of BJP workers change according to the party. Now party said ki you are the member of the parliament or you are the union minister, but it is time to go and fight the assembly election. So they are in the ground. That is very simple. It is our choice. It is the choice of BJP. We have decided
of course. I'm just trying to understand the strategy. Is it a way to deal with anti-incumbency? क्या सोच क्या है इस choice के पीछे?
there is ऐसी कोई सोच जैसा सब्जेक्ट नहीं है. They all are the BJP workers. We all are BJP workers, and we do what our party assigned to us. And now the assignment is to fight the assembly election. So they are in the assembly election.
Okay, Arti, you said you were uninspired in general, but let's talk about the stakes for Jyotiraditya Scindia. It's a very interesting development if you want to come in on that. And also the
Absolutely.
BJP.
Perhaps that's the only really interesting thing about this election, because I think
there's one other interesting thing is the BJP's not giving prominence formally to either Shivraj Singh Chouhan in Madhya Pradesh or Vasundhara Raje in Rajasthan, despite what happened in Karnataka. But go ahead, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll come to the latter part later. But for me, this election is the interesting thing about this election is what happens to Jyotiraditya Scindia, because I think his political future is very much at stake here. He did this jump to the BJP last time, and carrying with him a whole lot of MLAs. And now he's landed himself in a situation where I'm told in Madhya Pradesh, there is a Maharaj BJP versus a Naraz BJP. So,
there's also Shivraj BJP, Arti.
And so a Shivraj BJP, a Maharaj BJP, and a Naraz BJP. Okay, go ahead. Yes, right. Okay.
So I mean, the very fact that his aunt has decided not to contest, Jyotiraditya Scindia fought like mad to, get his candidates, to get his people tickets. But as you know, about 6 of them quit and walked back to the Congress. Some BJP leaders from that region have joined the Congress. The fact is, if you look at it historically, from the time Madhya Scindia crossed over, left the Jansangh and crossed to the BJP, which was way back in 1977, I think, or before that. Since then, that whole area, BJP has been pitted against the palace, the politics of the palace. And Jyotiraditya Scindia represents that palace. So, for him to be going out there and asking BJP voters to vote for the BJP, I mean, it's an anomaly. It just doesn't make sense to people on the ground, because they've always seen the palace as inimical to their interests. So if Jyotiraditya Scindia cannot deliver the Chambal Gwalior region for the BJP this time, I think that he is in serious trouble politically. He can't go back to the Congress. And, Modi and Amit Shah, as you know, I mean, people, if they're not useful to them, they just discard them ruthlessly. So where does Jyotiraditya Scindia go after this? That's, I think, a very interesting, question that's being raised, and we'll find the answer, very soon.
Deshdeep you wanted to come in on the not declaring the CM candidate approach of the BJP.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So as far as it's not, you remember we did a show earlier, and I told you that the BJP has, I think, a plan to somehow, marginalize leaders from the Vajpayee Advani BJP, Yediyurappa, Vasundhara Raje, Shivraj Singh Chouhan. They tried that experiment in Karnataka, and look at the mess they made of Karnataka. They lost a huge, a very profitable state, and the only state that they ruled in the South. They lost it with that gamble that they played. They were trying to do the same thing in both Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. But towards the end, if you notice, the last few lists that they declared, they have accommodated a lot of Shivraj Singh Chouhan loyalists, just like they have accommodated a lot of Vasundhara Raje loyalists, because I think they realize that if they annoy these leaders, then they are, it's going to be a complete wipeout like it was in Karnataka. And, I mean, I don't know whether I should really say this, on screen, but I think as far as the BJP is concerned, one of the most important part of their strategy for the Lok Sabha election is to try and squeeze the Congress for funds. Unfortunately for the BJP, the Congress has been landed with a cash-rich state like Karnataka, which is very, very useful for them. But they would like to squeeze them for funds, even from, poorer states like Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. So whether, it's not really a question of winning the state so much. I think Narendra Modi is more interested in the Lok Sabha election than in the assembly election result.
Can we just
it's a question of
remind,
defeating the Congress so that you keep the
Can
Congress
we-
starved of funds.
as I go to Deshdeep ji, can we just actually remind our audience that sometimes assembly and Lok Sabha elections are two very different sets of moods. So the last time the Congress narrowly won electorally, then of course they lost their government because Scindia walked out. But the Lok Sabha elections that took place just a few months later, please do bring up that slide. There you can see the BJP swept the state, right? So this is a complexity that we have to understand कि जो लोगों का mood है, लोग नाराज हैं, लोग खुश नहीं हैं, unemployment है, inflation है, तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को देशदीप जी क्या नहीं जिम्मेवार ठहराया जाता? You see, it's very interesting, this dichotomy between the national and the Lok Sabha elections, and I just wanted to place that on record. But do go ahead, आपकी जो observations हैं this are
regarding this state versus center, right?
Yes.
So you are correct that when it is when they talk about assembly elections, so the issues of sadak bijli pani, they definitely come up. Then the question of corruption in the government departments, and then the unemployment. It's a huge issue among youth. Congress, I would have loved BJP to showcase its 18.5 years of achievements. Why they need to have a Ladli Lakshmi Yojana, Ladli Behna Yojana, a cash in hand scheme for 1.25 crore women to sail through the assembly elections in Madhya Pradesh? Why do they need Ram issue? If we look at the campaigning in Madhya Pradesh, it started with a yatra which was undertaken by the BJP. So there was a general type of campaigning, and then campaigning started changing. Ladli Behna Yojana came into picture, and then gradually Sanatan, Ram Mandir came into the picture. Then with Sanatan and Ram Mandir, Hamas also entered so that they can have this much.
Can this Ladli Yojana be a game changer?
This is what they are trying. They think that Ladli Behna Yojana will be the game changer in Madhya Pradesh, which is why they launched it. Shivraj Singh Chouhan announced it just few months before the election process started.
Yeah. Let me get. Sorry.
And yeah. And this is happening in a state. Let me say one thing. This is happening in a state which is so much under economic stress. The budget of Madhya Pradesh, just one thing. The budget of Madhya Pradesh is 3,14,000 crores, and the debt on Madhya Pradesh is over 3,50,000 crores. Still, we are having these freebies and these cash in hand schemes.
Let me take last quick 30 seconds from both our political representatives, and I'll give Kartikeya a quick closing comment. Pankaj ji, Ladli Yojana se kya umeed hai politically?
Barkha ji, this is the time for the landslide victory of Kamal, the victory of BJP, and a huge defeat for the Kamal Nath. That is the reality of the Madhya Pradesh, the ground reality of this election. We are going to win on the issues of development. We have changed the picture of Madhya Pradesh in the last 20 years. Now it is not Bimaru Madhya Pradesh, it is Viksit Madhya Pradesh, and we are going to make it swarnim in next 25 years.
Okay, Mithun ji?
A lot of positive treatment. That's why we have announced that we are going to offer 1,500 rupees for women. We are going to offer LPG cylinders for 500 rupees. We are going to offer 100 units of electricity for free. We are offering OPS, and we are offering loan waivers. We are offering 2 lakh government jobs. And these 3-4 flagship yojanas, we are offering it in every state that we are governing. But BJP is offering it on only poll-bound states because they know because now the Janta understands that it is only a poll promise, which is not going to be continued after the elections. That's why they're going to select the government, which is going to give it to them for the whole period of 5 years. So that's why they're going to elect Congress party.
We're only 2 days away from the actual voting, where the voter will not be silent, at least in her relationship with the voting machine. Kartikeya, is there any surprise factor since the time of the poll to now? Anything that's changed? Anything that you can see? Any new factor that's come into the elections? I can't hear Kartikeya. Can't hear you, Kartikeya. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I said that I have already mentioned this. I think the X factor would be the rebel candidates and the role that SP, BSP, and the Gondwana Ganatantra Party will play in different parts of the state. Apart from that, I think let's wait and let's hope that Madhya Pradesh turns out in big numbers and exercises its right to elect a new government. We'll see whichever party wins. But the election at this point is very interestingly poised. Let's wait until December the 3rd.
Okay, we leave it there. Madhya Pradesh votes on on the 17th. The results will be out on the 3rd of December. Both Pankaj and Mithun can at least relax a little bit after 2 days as they wait for the elections. Thank you very much to Pankaj, Mithun, to Deshdeep, to Arati and Kartikeya, and to our audience. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Mojo's Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, spread the word, and thank you for your support.